Artery plaque doesn't happen overnight. It builds up slowly, silently, and dangerously over time. What starts as a small deposit of cholesterol or fat can eventually narrow your arteries, restrict blood flow, and set the stage for heart attacks, strokes, and chronic circulatory problems. But what exactly causes plaque in your arteries? And more importantly, can it be reduced or removed naturally before it leads to something serious? In this video, we're going to break down the real science behind arterial plaque, how it forms, why it matters, and what you can do starting today to stop its progression and even reverse some of the damage. Whether you've already been told you have plaque buildup or you simply want to prevent it from forming in the first place, understanding the root causes is your first step toward healthier arteries. You'll learn the 5 key triggers behind plaque accumulation, some of which might surprise you, and the everyday habits that quietly make it worse. Then we'll shift gears and focus on evidence-based natural strategies to help clear your arteries safely. No hype, no miracle cures, just proven solutions that can fit into real life. If you've ever wondered, what causes plaque in arteries? Or how can I reduce plaque buildup without relying solely on medication? This video is your roadmap. Because when it comes to your heart, knowledge isn't just power, it's prevention. And sometimes the smallest changes in your daily routine can make the biggest difference in how well your blood flows and how long your heart stays strong. So let's dive in and take the first step toward understanding and reclaiming the health of your arteries. Cause number 1: high LDL cholesterol and oxidation. The foundation of arterial plaque. When it comes to what causes plaque in arteries, high levels of LDL cholesterol, often dubbed bad cholesterol, sit right at the center of the problem. But the real issue isn't just having LDL in your bloodstream. It's what happens when that LDL becomes oxidized. That's when the trouble really begins. LDL cholesterol by itself is a natural and necessary component of your body. It helps build cell membranes and produce hormones. But when there's too much of it floating around in your blood, especially in combination with oxidative stress, things start to go wrong. Free radicals, unstable molecules created by poor diet, smoking, pollution, or chronic stress can damage LDL particles, transforming them into oxidized LDL. This oxidized form is what gets trapped in the walls of your arteries. Once oxidized LDL embeds itself into the endothelium, the inner lining of your arteries, your immune system steps in. White blood cells rush to the site to try and clean it up, but instead of resolving the issue, they often create a bigger mess. This process triggers chronic inflammation, which causes further damage to the arterial walls and leads to the formation of fatty streaks, early signs of plaque. Over time, these streaks grow, harden, and turn into full-blown plaques that restrict blood flow and make arteries stiff and less responsive. The combination of high LDL levels and oxidation is especially dangerous because it often goes unnoticed until the plaque becomes large enough to cause symptoms or worse, ruptures, and leads to a heart attack or stroke. Fortunately, this process can be slowed and in some cases partially reversed. Diets rich in antioxidants, such as those found in colorful fruits, vegetables, green tea, and nuts, help reduce oxidative stress. Meanwhile, lowering intake of trans fats and increasing healthy fats like omega-3s can help shift your cholesterol balance in a healthier direction. In short, managing LDL cholesterol isn't just about reducing a number, it's about protecting the integrity of your arteries and preventing the oxidative cascade that turns a simple molecule into a life-threatening problem. Cause number 2: chronic inflammation. The silent accelerator of plaque formation. While cholesterol often takes the spotlight in heart health discussions, chronic inflammation is the hidden force that silently accelerates artery damage and plaque buildup. In fact, many experts now believe that inflammation, not just high cholesterol, is the spark that ignites and fuels the entire process of atherosclerosis. So what exactly is chronic inflammation, and how does it affect your arteries? Inflammation is your body's natural defense mechanism. It's what helps you heal from injury or fight off infection. But when inflammation becomes chronic, meaning it persists even when there's no immediate threat, it shifts from being protective to destructive. Inside your arteries, this low-grade long-term inflammation causes continuous irritation to the endothelial lining. As a result, the walls of your blood vessels become more permeable and vulnerable to damage. This constant inflammation acts like sandpaper, roughening up the smooth surfaces of your arteries and making it easier for LDL cholesterol and other debris to stick and accumulate. Once those substances penetrate the artery wall, your immune system reacts by sending white blood cells to clean it up. But instead of resolving the issue, the immune response creates more inflammation, forming foam cells and contributing to the growth of plaque. Over time, this process thickens the artery walls and narrows the passage for blood flow and increases the risk of a rupture or clot. In fact, many heart attacks are triggered not by gradually growing plaques, but by unstable ones that suddenly rupture due to underlying inflammation. What drives chronic inflammation? Poor diet, especially sugar and processed foods. Smoking, obesity, sedentary lifestyle, unbalanced gut health, and unmanaged stress are all major contributors. Fortunately, inflammation is also highly responsive to lifestyle changes. Anti-inflammatory foods like leafy greens, berries, turmeric, ginger, and oily fish can help. So can regular exercise, good sleep, and reducing stress. The bottom line: if you're trying to reduce plaque buildup, managing inflammation is just as important, if not more, than managing cholesterol. It's the stealthy fuel behind the fire that turns a few molecules of fat into a life-threatening arterial blockage. Cause number 3. High blood pressure, hypertension. The constant pressure that damages arteries. High blood pressure is often called the silent killer, and for good reason. It typically causes no symptoms, yet quietly wreaks havoc on your arteries every single day. Over time, the persistent force of elevated blood pressure damages the delicate lining of your blood vessels, making them more prone to plaque buildup and narrowing. Your arteries are designed to be strong, yet flexible, able to expand and contract to accommodate blood flow. But when your blood pressure remains high for too long, that constant pressure acts like a fire hose blasting against the inner walls of your vessels. This continuous strain causes tiny tears and weak spots in the endothelium and the thin layer of cells that keeps your arteries smooth and friction-free. Once the endothelium is compromised, it becomes easier for cholesterol, calcium, and other substances to stick and accumulate, leading to the formation of plaque. But that's not all. High blood pressure also contributes to arterial stiffness. When your arteries become less elastic, they're less able to handle changes in blood flow and pressure, which further increases the risk of rupture, heart attack, or stroke. What's especially dangerous is that high blood pressure and plaque buildup create a vicious cycle. As plaque narrows the arteries, the heart must work harder to push blood through the tighter spaces, which raises blood pressure even more. Left untreated, this cycle accelerates the progression of atherosclerosis and increases the likelihood of catastrophic cardiovascular events. Fortunately, hypertension is one of the most modifiable risk factors. Even small reductions in blood pressure through diet, exercise, weight loss, stress management, and sometimes medication can dramatically reduce arterial damage. The DASH diet, low in sodium and rich in potassium and magnesium, is especially effective for supporting healthy blood pressure. In essence, high blood pressure doesn't just increase your numbers, it increases your risk of permanent progressive damage to your arteries. Keeping it in check is one of the most powerful ways to slow down or even reverse plaque formation. Cause number 4. Insulin resistance and elevated blood sugar. The hidden culprits in artery damage. While diabetes and blood sugar issues are well-known health challenges, their role in artery plaque formation is often underestimated. Insulin resistance and elevated blood sugar levels don't just affect your metabolism, they directly contribute to the buildup of arterial plaque, increasing your risk of heart disease and stroke. Insulin resistance occurs when your body's cells stop responding properly to insulin, a hormone responsible for regulating blood sugar. This causes blood sugar to remain elevated, leading to a state of chronic hyperglycemia. Over time, high blood sugar damages the inner lining of your arteries through a process called glycation, where sugar molecules bind to proteins and fats, creating harmful compounds called advanced glycation. End products, AGEs. AGEs increase oxidative stress and inflammation in your blood vessels, making them more susceptible to injury and plaque buildup. Elevated blood sugar also promotes the oxidation of LDL cholesterol, which is a key step in the development of atherosclerosis. Moreover, insulin resistance is often associated with other cardiovascular risk factors, such as obesity, high blood pressure, and abnormal cholesterol levels, creating a dangerous perfect storm for arterial damage. One of the most concerning effects of insulin resistance is its impact on endothelial function. The endothelium plays a crucial role in regulating blood flow and preventing clot formation. High blood sugar impairs this function, reducing nitric oxide production and causing blood vessels to become stiff and less responsive. The good news is that insulin resistance and elevated blood sugar can be managed and even reversed through lifestyle changes. Adopting a diet low in refined carbohydrates and sugars, engaging in regular physical activity, managing stress, and maintaining a healthy weight are powerful strategies to protect your arteries. In summary, insulin resistance and high blood sugar aren't just metabolic issues, they're direct contributors to arterial plaque formation. Addressing them is essential for anyone looking to reduce plaque buildup and protect long-term cardiovascular health. Cause. Number 5. Smoking and environmental toxins. The accelerators of arterial damage. Smoking is one of the most destructive habits for your arteries and overall cardiovascular health. The chemicals in tobacco smoke and other environmental toxins directly damage the lining of your blood vessels, accelerating the formation of plaque and increasing your risk of heart disease. When you inhale cigarette smoke, you're exposing your arteries to thousands of harmful compounds, including nicotine, carbon monoxide, and free radicals. These substances cause oxidative stress and inflammation, which weaken the endothelium, the protective lining of your arteries. Once damaged, the endothelium becomes more permeable, allowing cholesterol and other fatty substances to seep into the artery walls and start the process of plaque buildup. Nicotine also raises blood pressure and heart rate, putting additional strain on your blood vessels. It encourages the formation of blood clots and narrows arteries by promoting the constriction of blood vessels, further limiting blood flow. This combination makes smokers much more susceptible to atherosclerosis, heart attack, strokes, and peripheral artery disease. Environmental toxins such as air pollution and exposure to industrial chemicals can have similar effects on your arteries. Long-term exposure to polluted air increases inflammation and oxidative stress, leading to vascular damage and plaque accumulation even in non-smokers. The encouraging news is that quitting smoking can drastically reduce your risk. Within just a few years of quitting, your arterial function begins to improve, inflammation decreases, and your heart health starts to recover. Avoiding or minimizing exposure to environmental toxins, this also supports your body's natural repair mechanisms. If you're concerned about plaque buildup, addressing smoking and environmental exposures should be a top priority. Eliminating these accelerators gives your arteries a much better chance to heal, helping to slow or even reverse the damage that's already been done. Cause number 6. Natural methods to reduce and remove plaque. Taking control of your arterial health. Understanding what causes plaque in arteries is only half the battle. The most empowering part is knowing you can take concrete, natural steps to reduce and even remove some of that buildup, supporting your heart and circulation without relying solely on medications or invasive procedures. First and foremost, adopting a heart-healthy diet is essential. Emphasize whole unprocessed foods rich in antioxidants, fiber, and healthy fats. Foods like leafy greens, berries, fatty fish nuts, and whole grains help lower LDL cholesterol and reduce inflammation. Soluble fiber binds cholesterol in the gut, preventing its absorption, while antioxidants combat oxidative stress, the driving force behind plaque formation. Regular physical activity is another powerful tool. Exercise not only helps control weight, blood pressure, and blood sugar, but also improves endothelial function and promotes the production of nitric oxide, which relaxes blood vessels and improves blood flow. Even moderate exercise, such as brisk walking for 30 minutes most days of the week, can have profound cardiovascular benefits. Managing stress is often overlooked, but critically important. Chronic stress triggers inflammation and hormonal imbalances that accelerate plaque buildup. Mindfulness practices, meditation, deep breathing exercises, and adequate sleep can lower stress hormones and support arterial healing. Certain natural supplements and foods like omega-3 fatty acids, garlic, turmeric, and green tea have shown promise in reducing inflammation, improving cholesterol profiles, and enhancing blood vessel function. While these aren't miracle cures, they can complement lifestyle changes and provide additional protection. Finally, quitting smoking and minimizing exposure to environmental toxins remove key accelerators of arterial damage, allowing your body's repair systems to work more effectively. Consistent, sustained changes in these areas don't just slow the progression of arterial plaque, they can promote its gradual reduction and improve overall cardiovascular resilience. It's about creating a lifestyle where your arteries can thrive, your heart can function optimally, and your risk of serious events can be minimized. Taking control of your arterial health is a journey. But with knowledge, dedication, and the right habits, it's one you can confidently embark on for a stronger, healthier future. Plaque buildup in your arteries is a serious health threat, but it's not a life sentence. By understanding what causes plaque, high LDL cholesterol, chronic inflammation, high blood pressure, insulin-resistant smoking, and environmental toxins, you've already taken a vital first step toward protecting your heart. These factors don't act in isolation. They work together to damage your arteries and increase your risk of heart attacks and strokes. The good news is that natural evidence-based methods can help you reduce and even remove some of that harmful plaque. Adopting a nutrient-rich diet, staying physically active, managing stress, and avoiding harmful habits like smoking empower your body to heal and restore healthy blood flow. Small, consistent changes in daily life make a huge difference when it comes to arterial health. At MediMint, we believe in giving you clear, practical information to take control of your cardiovascular well-being. Heart health isn't about quick fixes or complicated treatments. It's about sustainable, science-backed habits that protect your arteries and enhance your quality of life. If this video has helped you understand the root causes of artery plaque and inspired you to act, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs this life-saving information. Don't forget to subscribe to MediMint for more expert advice on natural health, circulation, and aging well. Your arteries are the highways that keep your body alive and thriving. Keep them clear, keep them strong, and keep choosing health every day.